summit speaker is Philadelphia-based singer, composer, producer, podcast host, and coach. She supports musicians and creatives in actualizing their goals and dreams through coaching and online trainings. Virtualpreneurs, we're excited to have our next speaker, Francisca. Hi, Francisca.
Hi, Ruben. Thank you so much for having me.
How's Philadelphia?
It's great. I think it's warm today, but I haven't been outside yet because of the quarantine. So,
So what's the look? How does COVID-19 quarantine look in Philadelphia?
so I think it looks the same like it does everywhere else. People are stuck home with their children, and there's a lot of fear, anxiety. There is the unknown factor. Yeah, people are just holding on tight to their hats.
So you have an online business, and how is it affected by COVID-19?
So the funny thing is, the business Allman, which is supporting creatives, entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, that those are people who have their own businesses or who are starting out or who are who have a lot. Sorry, I forgot the word. They have a lot of people depending on them. They have a lot going, and there's a lot of stress. So this is a time where I'm needed more for some clients potentially than others, but this is a time where you really need to step up for the people you're serving and be there for them at a time where you don't know what's happening. You don't know what will happen. How will that affect your business? So naturally, the first thing I'm thinking when everyone started sitting in their quarantine, how could I continue working? People need to save their money for food, for whatever else they'll need, because there are a lot of extenuating circumstances happening. And then there was this wake-up call. No, this is the business I'm in. We're supporting. I don't want to compare myself to the doctors right now because they're putting their lives at risk by serving and healing the people today. But we need to step up at a time like now and support the people who have other people depending on them, who have families depending on them, and they need your help. And a lot of the work I do as coaching is supporting clients in a mindful place, bringing them to a place where they can step up for themselves, or they can be accountable, where they need to take risks and believe in themselves. So now is a time like no other where we need to show up for them. And we need to remind them that they have what it takes to get through this. And for each person, it's different. For each entrepreneur, it's different.
So for your business, was the COVID-19 outbreak change something in the process that you do business, or is it still the same?
I think it brought more meaning to what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And I think until now, I've looked at myself as something complementary or something that enhances your life or that something enhances your business. Now it's something that no one should live without. I mean, if you have a business or you have something you have put a lot into and you've risked a lot to create, you need a support system, especially during this time. So it brought a lot more validation to the work I'm doing and made me feel like what I'm doing is actually really important and necessary, not just an extra enhancing lifestyle thing.
True. Because the sad thing is, between this COVID outbreak, the focus of the discussion is government and people. What's forgotten is the entrepreneur in between. And most of them, nobody really cared. And at some point in time, they're really in between the clashes of information. And that's the same reason that we're doing this. Now, we have lots of friends and contacts really affected by this COVID-19. Most of them really shut down their stores. And I think you have also friends who closed restaurants. So if there are friends or contact that approached you to ask for tips, strategies, and techniques, what normally strategies do you share to them?
Okay, so normally when you're just working day to day, when life is regular, normal, with all its challenges that it comes with, then I would say, we have to work on strategies, business. Many of the clients or the people I interact with are women and are mothers. So right now, they went from entrepreneur, from somebody working on their dream projects and their creative goals. They went to full-time babysitter, teacher, cleaner, cook. What else do you want to put into that mix? So it really became, how do I even get myself 1 hour a day or 5 hours a day? How do I get my work done?
Mm.
So it became so much more basic. You know how you have the Maslow's hierarchy. First, we have to make sure you're getting the sleep you need and that your kids are taken care of and you don't go crazy killing everyone around you because you're stuck in your house with all your kids. So that's been something, just going back to the basics and finding time. Also, just prioritizing. If you are working on anything that's marketing related, like websites or business cards or an event maybe that you were planning. So first of all, events can be transferred online. A lot of people have been doing that. Really prioritizing on the things that will actually bring you income and bring it to you soon. So I'm talking to business business people right now, not necessarily people who are working on a project that just had to close down right away. Let's say you have a business and there are certain things you can do virtually that could still bring in income. Focus on those places. If it's something that you've never done virtually, how can you make it virtual? Obviously, not everything can be done virtually today yet, but maybe it's time for you to transfer your services online. Maybe you could reach a bigger pool. Maybe this is a place for more opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a crisis and it's a terrible time and many people are suffering or will be suffering, and there's a lot of panic and chaos.
True.
But we have had crises before, and someone with an idea or inspiration always benefited or created opportunity out of a crisis place. And that can be you. Like, that can be anyone listening here. You could decide, what, I could be anxious and panic like everyone else, or maybe I can come up with some amazing idea that will revolutionize the world or create new opportunities. Or maybe you can create something that will create 10,000 new jobs for people who can't go out there and support their families and put food on the table, and they don't know how they'll pay their bills this month. So as much as it's a place of the unknown, people who are entrepreneurs, who are thinkers, creators, thinking outside the box, are going to be the people who are going to create the new opportunities and change the world, just like the wheel changed the world and the printing press changed the world and the internet and the light bulb.
Wow, that's powerful words. Now, how should if an entrepreneur is stuck at home, literally nothing, they're just at home, they can't do anything because of the quarantine. Aside from building their own footprints, what other productive activities can you suggest to them?
So number one, and I don't know if I said this on the first show we did or here, create a list of all the things you love doing or you know how to do. And then see which one can I offer today or serve or create. Number two, start building personal relationships. Reach out to people, see what they're doing. What do they need help with? Do some market research. What do people need right now? Do they need somebody delivering stuff to their doors? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that might be something you can do. Number three, maybe it's time for you to work on building your online brand. Maybe that will help you for when this is all over and we're through. Maybe you can build your online brand. I'm not saying, I know before I said focus on the things that will bring you income, but if that's not what you're thinking about and you're just thinking, what can I do with this time because I'm literally bored? I mean, you could read books and develop yourself. You could watch movies. You could work out and get into shape. You have to figure out what your goals are. But maybe your goal is, get another 1,000 new followers on Instagram, or start a podcast, or start a group. It could be whatever you want. Again, maybe go back to the first point on the list, write down a list of things you'd like to do or you're good at, and then go to there.
Now, what's your last word for the local and small businesses out there affected by COVID-19?
So it's tough. The local and small businesses that are offline have definitely had it the hardest, but our local yoga studio here just started doing online yoga classes. I know it's not the same as going to a yoga class or Zumba classes. Other people are music teachers or any kinds of teachers. they can offer their services online. But nail salons, cleaners, anybody who's doing literally physical services, or masseuses. I know near us, we just had a new like spa place
Massage.
open, massage, yeah. And somebody just took out a loan, built this place, and then 2 weeks later,
Oh,
they bought out all these marketing materials. We got things in the mail, and then we have coronavirus. They literally have no income coming in because people do not want massages today. They don't want to be touched by other people,
mm.
right? We have the gloves and the masks. So, so anyone, also the event industries where you have caterers, photographers, videographers, everyone's being canceled left and right. So that's really difficult. And I think it's challenging, but there are ways for every person to potentially either pivot or create new income streams in a different way that might not be traditional, it might not be something that they ever thought they'd do. But everyone who is running a successful business has enough skills that they can do something that people would pay them for. But again, no one tells you could start a business and make money the next day. So it might, if this is a 2 week thing or a 3 week thing, might not make sense to start something brand new. It might make sense to just show virtual support and hold on tight, or try to build relationships. So when you do go back into business, or you do open up your doors, you don't lose your clients. Maybe building relationships is an answer. I don't have all the answers for everyone in like one umbrella. It's more like trying to find the right thing for each individual person for what makes sense for them at the moment with their circumstances.
For all creative entrepreneurs, if you have time, you can definitely contact Francisca for some advice, maybe if they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I
So
do.
just check on the information below this video, and you will get all the contact details of Francisca. Thank you very much, Francisca, for the time and for inspiring us today. I
You're
hope the
so welcome.
priceless strategies and tips that we have learned today can help us move through these hard times. Thank you, Francisca.
Amen. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you so much.
Virtualpreneurs, live the great life.